Good morning, y'all. Help me. SMP. Help me. Help me. Previously on Kimba TV. So within this context, you want to bounce from here, turn that bitch into support, and then we're good. And then again, that's the same exact thing that we talked about from yesterday. So if this doesn't hold, then since settlement is below value area low, it would be really bearish. So we would be looking at 84 next. Okay, because this already got swept. This is a good low. So if this doesn't hold, then we're looking at this next. And then that's where the CME single print is. Good morning, El Pasoto. Let's get it. Come on, man. We're going to get that 84 what? Kachoya Drac. Gucci Roma, what's going on? A Kachoy. Oh, that's a Kachoy. Oh, that's a Kachoy. Oh, that's a Kachoy. Let's go, America. Let's go. Let's get that thing. Let's get that thing. Jabate. A Kachoy. Let's go. It's a Kachoy. Yeah. It's a Kachoy. Let's go. It's a Kachoy. It's a Kachoya. It's a Kachoya. It's a Kachoya. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Rookie Bazuki says, good morning. I was watching an older video about identifying levels and wondered from which candle would you put FRVP for the current range? Like this?
Latuche, motherfucker, the math
This
is the
one's a
math.
little bit hard. Probably like from here to here. How we doing? Y'all better be fucking juicing, boy. Let's go. Bazuki says, nice. I placed about the same. Good stuff. Gold HS, what's going on? JV says, good morning. I need to stay all night doing my assignments. We didn't get away with this long. I told you. I think we've done 5 long attempts in the last 10 days or something. And yeah, lower. But that's okay. Yeah, I told you that the highest probability was that we would get round tripped. But did you saw my entries and stop losses, JV? So isn't it crazy that even though I barely made anything, I still walked away with like, I don't know, 28 grand or something? Not too bad, huh? Twitch and Greg, let's go. Any questions? Haskir says, hey, Kim, but beyond the drop of S&P, data of PCE wasn't good. It's not, I don't really think the markets react purely on PCE or GDP. I think what it does is the rate cut news or CPI usually kind of alley-oops it, and then GDP and PCE kind of slams dunks it, if that makes sense. So I think it's like the nail in the coffin. I think when it was rate, when they said no rate. So Haskir, have you been able to follow along the last couple of days and weeks, brother? And have you been hearing me talk about, guys, S&P on the higher time frame still looks like 5,500, even 5,400 is possible. How maybe like every other day people will be like, do you think we're going to get 76? Do you think that's out of the question? Do you think we missed out on the altcoin season? Do you think we missed out on outlongs? Like every other day somebody will ask that. And you know what my answer has always been, right? I think we've always got a chance to get into longs until rate cuts happen. Right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's PCE necessarily, but I think it's just everything kind of working together and domino pieces falling. Yeah. But Askir, like, I understand that it's dumped, I don't know, $1,000, right? Like, it started the day off at like 85.5 and we're at 84.2, you know? But it's just level to level. This is from 3 days ago where we were identifying the next level. So, you know, we had a bunch of daily, like day-to-day scalp shorts and scalp longs that we played with based off of value and settlement. But the bigger level, you know, it was the level of interest and then here next. So level of interest, this is the price action of the clip from 3 days ago, right? Just right there. We had just gotten that. So we were right here. Okay? So that's the level that we were talking about. I said, I'm going to wait for right here, the single print. So it's level to level. There to here, from here to here. You see how like the settlement and the value area high and the low and the day-to-day stuff gave us the bing bong ding dong, but at the end of the day, it was the level of interest and then CME gap and the single print next. Yeah, so it's just level to level. Like if you ignore the day-to-day like TPO stuff, it's just level to level, the next level. So I wouldn't get too carried away. I feel like that's how people end up like bottom shorting or getting trapped somehow. So in my opinion, bro, like I'm just wishing that I had my Monday fucking 88 420 shorts, man. That's all I'm like. This doesn't surprise me at all. I'm just like, fuck. Here, you know, like I thought I could get that. I thought we could clean the high and then I could get another big short, you know, like maybe this. So it was like, should we take this? You know, should we wait for this? But at the end of the day, like I'm not. To be honest, this doesn't surprise me at all. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I still had my 884. Isn't it crazy though, chat, that how many of you guys were here when I got into the short live Monday morning, like first thing? My dumbass was so adamant and so convinced of the short. I got in hella quick. And then chat, when do they fucking take it to my next level? On Friday. God damn it, these fucking... You know? But that's okay. That's part of leverage trading. And you see how it's not about being right or wrong. You know? I could sit here and be like, guys, I was right. Oh my God, my short, But at the end of the day, like, I closed my short. And I thought I could get back in higher, right? So, like, was I right or was I wrong? You know? That's why the execution, the timing, being too early, being too late, like, all those things matter, you know? So that's why, like, none of that shit really matters, you know? Like, some people might have gotten short yesterday and they're juicing, right? I was like big shorting Monday morning, you know, my higher time frame dumbass is like not really used to the scalping shit. You see what I mean? Like I'm not really good at scalping. Like the higher time frame shit is just like a little bit simpler for me, you know, and the scalping shit actually kind of fucked me a little bit. Yeah, but it's level to level, ladies and gentlemen, you feel me? Not too shabby, right? And that's why we still have like the big ones and the ones from higher still running. So yeah, this is just level to level. Because if you really think about it, aside from all the daily like value area high, value area low, and the settlement that constantly changes per session, this is the level, and the single print has always been the level. Those are the only two levels here. And just like from here to here, this is the next one. And then just like from here to fucking here. Oh my goodness. But you guys know that, you know, like that's the 76, right? Yeah. So they not gonna get me, Lions. They kind of got me. I kind of got myself, but let's go. How we doing though? We Gucci, Lions?
You just said.
So you see what I mean when I say shit like don't worry so much about like being in the perfect trade or doing it, you know, like you just want to make sure you don't get got. So from that perspective, none of this surprises me. I don't know. I wouldn't even say it's PCE. Maybe accelerated it a little bit, but did we just not come to a level that we were anticipating for? Does everybody know what I'm looking for to see if I need to long this bitch or not? Because everybody should be able to tell me what open interest looks like. Are there bottom shorters? Did longs get stopped out? Is there a hidden CVD bull div? Could there be 30-minute structure change? How much time do we spend above or below? The longer that you spend in a gap, the more probability that you have to rotate to the other side. Everything that we've talked about for the last couple days and weeks, all right, this is your opportunity to figure out what you know and what you don't know. What you think? Echo Dark says SFP on ES. So how do you form and confirm an SFP, Echo? You tell me. Because we've gone over it a billion fucking times. I just think that it's fucking amazing that a $1 trillion market cap asset can pixel fuck. Math is the math, man. Ozuzi says, but you said you are in a long. I know, but here's the craziest part too. The 886 to 618. What does that guarantee? Just like we talked about it here. Just like when we talked about it here. What does the 618 guarantee and only guarantee? Just the trend change. So a lot of times in a situation like this, people will be in, like a, 886 rotation, golden pocket short. And then other people, like they'll get in like right here or right here, but you have to be really careful because the only thing that the 886-618 rotation guarantees or increases the probability of is a lower low. It doesn't say anything about momentum or how low it could go, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm sure that my OGs know exactly what I'm talking about, but yeah, you got to be careful with that because that's what helps you take the trade. But your TPs and other math variables have to be other things. Inky says, how long ago was Alpha TA? My MVME died yesterday. I'm so down. First off, RIP MVME. That's a bummer. I hope it was backed up. I actually just got tomorrow I'm getting a 24 port Ubiquity, like their newest PoE+++ switch or whatever. I'm super excited. And I'm playing around with this new NVMe NAS. So very excited for that. What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. 15-second TA was in like the very early part of the morning, but that TA already played out and kind of got invalidated. So it was actually from 3 days ago. if you remember. Do you remember on Monday? Yeah, so that was the 84,000 single print, if you remember. So this is on Monday, I believe. And so do you remember on Monday we shorted that blue line, the level of interest, and it's level to level. So, you know, this was 3 or 4 days ago, like this. So this is where we were. So this is where we are in the video right here. You see it, Inky? So we're waiting for the single print. Single print. Obviously, you know, time has passed, and so that was the potential long. We already got stopped out at break even. So I'm a level to level person. Do you remember what I said about if this doesn't hold, then what would be the next level? These have been here for quite some time. We finagled it to make sure it was pixel perfect, but that's obviously the next one. And then, I mean, again, we've been looking at this for quite some time. So, do you remember when we did this a couple weeks ago? And so remember when we said, really, it's level to level. So after that, it's really, you know, either 76 or this gap right here, the 74 gap. Do you have all the levels marked out? So yeah, Inky, nothing has really changed. I will continue to try to take longs, but as we planned out, you know, 2 weeks ago, any long above 76, if the edge is there, we'll still take it, but we're going to put our stop loss and profit right away. All right. And, but just like, you know, you heard me say yesterday, until the rate cuts happen, we always have a shot to get the longs that we want, especially altcoins. So whether it's, you know, 82, whether it's 76, whether it's 68, whether it's 70, whether it's 72, I'm not afraid to long. All right. And then until we actually see something absolutely concrete, meaning S&P looks like it's bottomed out, we'll always keep the big short running. And we'll be really aggressive with putting stop loss and profit on every single long attempt that we take. So, all right, Inky. But level to level. So, obviously, you know, we had like scalp longs and scalp shorts in between with the different value or the TPO daily value sessions that we would get. But we level of interest from the blue line to the single print. Okay, the single print in the CME gap is now lost, and so we're headed towards the next one. So level of interest, that's ceiling. We were looking for this. It came here. Long did not work. Now it's level to level. So here. All right. And then really after that, I mean, 76, maybe 80, but doubt it. There's no volume. All right, Inky. Yeah, so like overall, nothing has really changed in terms of the higher time frame stuff. So and S&P, you know, kind of doing its thing, but also like, you know, you've been here the last couple of days, so you know that we're aware of like S&P on the higher time frame with lower targets. Our Hook says, what do you think about a full weekend recovery to SFP? So this is what I always tell people when the questions are like, what do you think about? It's not really our job to figure out if something is going to happen or not. The only thing we have to do is to just be prepared for it. So I'm already ready for that, Arhuk. That's why like we're in the long. But yeah, like, you know, shave when you need to. I'm watching these 5-minute candles to see if it can make a structure change. I'll add more at value area low if it can reclaim it. So it's just about being prepared, Arhuk. Crypto Addict, any questions? Oh, look, S&P swept. Who was that I was talking with about the low? So you see how that got swept? Whoever that was earlier. Oh, that was you, Martin? Yeah, so again, the low is still not great. All right, but it's just like probabilities, and you're using what is in front of you to figure out if what you're going to do is statistically advantageous or statistically not. That's it. Not too shabby, right, Martin? Martin, have you nerded out on Mandelo's? Look, if you have not watched Mandelo's videos, you are fucking retail. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to just be real. So I would hope everybody has watched Mandelo's videos about poor highs and poor lows. Okay? So make sure you watch that, Martin. But even if it doesn't make sense, I'm 100% positive if you just follow me and ask me when you think it's a poor or a weak low or a bad high, you're going to figure it out, okay? It's the tick size and how many ticks are left. All right, so that's still a shitty low. It probably will get cleaned again, but now this is kind of like a finessing, Martin, of how it might do like a subtle cleaning, still leave a bad low, and then save it for maybe Monday. All right. Another thing that I want you to think about going into the weekend is that S&P, CME, all these traditional markets, they're paused over the weekend. Therefore, there is no such thing as a bad low or a bad high really over the weekend. You can get it on derivatives, but they're not as impactful, okay? You know when they do become impactful? On Sunday or Monday when the markets reopen. So if the weekend makes a bad high or a poor low or any of those imbalances start to show up, the high probability becomes that those are going to get cleaned, meaning it's going to get revisited again. So if it makes a bad high or a weak high or a poor high, then, you know, you should already be thinking to yourself, oh, fuck, if it goes up there and it does something like a bearish structure, like a swing fail, then that's a short, you know? And then if you can understand how to play RTH gaps and it's confluencing and that's helping, that's fucking bonus. If you know how to pull anchored VWAPs and that bitch is helping you. You see how all these things start to work together? So you might be thinking about a short, right? Because you know it's a bad high over the weekend. You pull some fibs, you pull some anchored VWAP, everything starts to line up. Last but not least, maybe you get all the shorts stopped out from the weekend. Take that shit. That's an easy short. So it's all about everything kind of lining up. At the same time, if nothing shows up, if there's no edge, there's no trade to take. No matter how confident or well-prepared you thought, if the edge that you anticipated doesn't show up, then you don't take it. Rinse and repeat. So, Ariudri says, could this be a failed auction on S&P on 5-minute? No, because the price action is the opposite. So, if you're talking about, is this a failed auction? No, it's the opposite. It's this is inside. So if it was doing this, that would be your failed auction. But it's upside down. This is just still trending down. A failed auction is a sign of change. And so, no, not like this. But if it does this, then yes. Anything else you want to talk about, Adiyudri? And that's something I didn't know. Oh, got you. Well, that's awesome. Fuck, that you juiced the fuck up then. Yeah, so a failed auction is a structural edge. And so a swing fail pattern would be the most like easiest to spot and play, right? Because it just goes shweet, it breaks, but then it comes back and it closes above the sweep or the swing fail level, right? A failed auction is almost like a time extended version of a swing fail because they both have very similar golden pocket invalidations. But a failed auction basically is going to either stop everybody out, or it's going to leave everybody behind. A failed auction is easy. It's trying to leave everybody behind because it's so quick. But the failed auction, that's why you want to really be paying attention to the 382, the 05, and the golden pocket. I don't know how long you've seen it yourself, but the OGs and the veterans will tell you how many times we have missed out on a long because a lot of times people will wait for the golden pocket at the failed auction. But a failed auction can sometimes have a lower low or a higher high. Okay. But more often than not, it's gonna, either go to the 382 or the 05, or if it does actually go back to the golden pocket, it's to maybe trap shorters or longers. So it's a little bit more of a work and patience, but you'll notice that pretty much both the swing fail and the failed auction, the threshold in which you would try to take the position is very similar. It's between the golden pocket and the neckline, right? The invalidation is the lower low or the higher high. And then here's where it starts to gets tricky. The failed auction can sometimes make a higher high or a lower low. So you don't want to get got. And sometimes you need to be looking at things like S&P confluence, making sure that bitch went to a level that you wanted to. The reason why sometimes the basic strategy shit gets hunted is because of derivatives in crypto. And so many fucking idiots are high leverage and playing by the book. So you'll see a lot of it'll sweep a lower low. And yeah, the book says put your stop loss there, but then, it'll be a swing fail pattern and then it's pixel fucking gold S&P or some shit like that. So you got to finesse it a little bit. 3 drives is where it gets a little bit more tricky, but you're going to notice they often have bull divs or bear divs. So that's going to be able to help you out. And then last but not least, Kimba crown. So that's going to be a constant touch of the neckline. All right. That's the difference between a 3 drives and a Kimba crown, is because 3 drives will have structural change. It can look like that and it can look like this. Whereas the Kimba crown, it's a flat or a neckline. So, yeah. And then those are the 4 types of structural edge that you can apply to a level, Adiyudri. So when you talk failed auction, it's supposed to be structural edge. So, yeah, it would be marking the reversal, not the continuation. So it can't be, it would be upside down. You know what I'm doing, right? I'm in a pretty nice little entry long, so if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. That's about it. And then the real long or the real short, the real juice is always going to be on a Monday or Tuesday. So it would be a lot more probably a better spending of your time instead of just looking at this shit. Just think about all the way that I would go about it is Sunday night when ETH, the electronic trading hours, resume CME, does it have a bullish or a bearish gap? So that's what I would go. Then the next thing obviously is going to be, how does it react in that gap? Does it dip the tip or do we actually close? And last but not least, remembering where the gap was, does the RTH have a bullish or a bearish gap? So if the initial conclusion is bullish, we're looking for double-double. So if the ETH gap opens bullishly and it reacts bullishly, then we're trying to play the RTH gap bullishly. If the ETH gap opens up bullishly, but it plays bearishly, meaning it doesn't dip the tip or it closes the whole gap, then we're waiting for the RTH gap, and that RTH gap is going to dictate how we play it. So if RTH opens up bullishly, then we play the bullish gap. If it opens up bearishly, we play the bearish gap. So same thing as always. Obviously, if there's any sort of like div, S&P, open interest confluence, it just makes that a whole lot easier, right? And we would never do that play just with the gaps by themselves. You know, if there's VWAP bouncing or S&P helping, that's usually what we would want. Right, RR? Right, RR? You good, RR? Okay, shall we let us up? Let's do it. I'm going to start playing the outro songs. You guys Gucci? If I did a weekend stream, would you show up, Crypto Addict? If I did a weekend altcoin nerd out Latuche surprise stream, maybe at the same time CME is coming back, would you show up? Goddamn. Can you imagine an altcoin nerd out surprise Sunday CME ETH resumption stream? What the fuck? How many of y'all in the very beginning would have no idea what that meant, but now you know exactly what the fuck that means? Because you understand that we haven't gotten rate cuts yet. You understand what QE and QT means, but you also see a little bit of a budge in FedNet liquidity, right? You see a little bulge, right? And you're wondering yourself, is the U.S. market getting ready to be horny? Right? And then if I say CME ETH resumption, is he talking about Ethereum? Kimba, I'm not talking. The craziest is when people are like, I'm not talking about Ethereum. I'm not either, you dumbass. Talking about electronic trading hours, for God's sake. You just said. What a week. My overly enthusiastic ass got into the short. Wait, chat. Think about my dumb ass got into a short right here. Typical chat. I went long right there. Typical chat. I longed it here. I ended up going long here, and that was the last bounce. Chat, I longed the last bounce. Oh my fucking God. What is wrong with me? See, that's why I don't like that day-to-day shit, dude. I should have just fucking kept it and like not even tried. But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, we didn't touch like the tap bit or the MEXC shit. You know what I mean? But that's okay. That's okay. And the real juice? How many of y'all want the treasure map to the real juice? This is the treasure map to the real juice, chat. Yo, fuck 100, 150 Bitcoin long. I'm trying to get that thou testnet. I'm trying to get that 1,000. No, not 1,000. Maybe like 700 at the most. 700 Bitcoin long. Can you imagine? Imagining. But can you imagine 750 Bitcoin long at 68? Okay? 20,000 ETH long at 1,300. $50,000 ETH long at 90. $500,000 DOT at 3.2, 3.3 maybe. A kachoy. So guys, let's lock in. Let's not get carried away. I'm not scared to long like every possible place that I might need to long. But boy, if you give me 70, give me 68, on God, I'm longing that I'm spot buying that hoe. Could it go to 50, 30? Sure. But scared money don't make no money. And I'm going to just go off of data. But, you know, like if it's 76, 82, 82.5 could be a little thang. All right. We could get a little bit of a tridezy. Okay, 81.420. What a coincidence. 82.5, 81.420. That's, you know, your kind of next level. That's your CME gap. Obviously cleaning all of that. 76. We've talked about how 76 is an ETH low. It's not a RTH low. So 76, I'm not scared of longing 76. Fuck no. You know, everybody that's waiting for 70, see ya. I would prefer that. I would prefer longing a not the lowest entry long, but everybody getting left behind. I'm okay with that, right, chat? Let's not fuck around and fuck this next opportunity up. So, you know, we have levels on ETH that we've been talking about for quite some time. We've got levels on Sol that we've been looking at for quite some time, scattered amongst the 40 or so whatever shit coins and meme coins and altcoins. You know, there's 5 or 6 that have solid plans. The rest we need to do a little bit of more TA on. So we'll definitely lock in, and I'm going to start doing more altcoin TA for sure. Some of them I don't think I really need to break down, but some of them I think, you know, we got to zoom in a little bit. So definitely spend some time. And again, remember, like the whole narrative of longing and altcoin season, all those things, we are front running because we haven't gotten rate cuts or this and that, or Fed net liquidity going to a level we want, or quantitative easing, or, you know, all the stuff that we marked out in October. We haven't gotten one single fucking thing. So we're front running a few things, and that's okay. And we're not going to be scared to long or buy when people are freaking out. So let's go. It's really going to be interesting to see that 76. If people are like 70, it's going to 70. Fuck you. No, we're not. Bye. Got to keep our head on a swivel for that. You know there's going to be motherfuckers calling for 70 and 68 and all that shit as soon as we get down there. And we know that the only thing that turns me off about that low is that it's a ETH low and it's not an RTH. If it was RTH, I don't think I would even be talking about 76. So, and it's if we can't hold that 76 with RTH, and we've had that box. We've had this box for hella long, Lions. I'm really interested to see if it's, you know, a single print grab and go, a swing fail grab and go. You know, let's just not get too carried away when it starts to, you know, poo-poo, if it poo-poos. All right. Anyways, we'll do our best. You guys are the best. All right. 29 minutes until Macaulay Culkin weekend. Have fun. Enjoy the weekend. Cashmark says 63 is the magic. Mathematically, Cashmark, there's going to be a lot of people, even institutions. I don't think it's just like a retail number. A lot of people are going to be looking at that harmonic and Elliott and point of control and volume node at 65. So, yeah, since everybody's going to be looking at that, a swing fail, if you're trying to call the low of the low, then maybe you're going to breach 65, 63, pink, let's go. But losing 65 would be fucked. That's kind of like that magic number. I'm hoping we don't even go that low, like 68, por favor, señor pinche market maker, right? So maybe you get a scenario like that's where the semantics kind of comes into play, right? What does losing 65 mean? A daily candle close below, a 4-hour candle close below, 3 30-minute candle closes, not being able to have any sort of bullish edge, whether structure, open interest, or divergence. Maybe S&P is just fucked, and there's no confluence for a rebound on S&P either. So Agree says, do hype live TA with flood? I think so, Agree but you know what would be sick, Agree let's do a live deposit, $1 million, and then $1 million live long on hype with Wild Flood as a guest. What do you think? It's got to be testing it. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all lions. Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss.